The more comfort you pursue, the more control you surrender. Walk with me through the ruins. Stand beneath the fractured columns of the Parthenon. The marble is worn by centuries of wind. The statues have lost their faces. Time has stripped away decoration and left only structure. Structure survives. Luxury does not. Ancient Greece was not built by comfort. It was built by friction. Hard soil, hard sea, hard winters. Men rowed against currents. Merchants sailed uncertain waters. Farmers wrestled the earth for grain. There were no cushions between effort and outcome, and that absence of convenience created arete, excellence forged through resistance. Now look at your world. Food arrives without effort. Transportation requires no endurance. Entertainment never ends. Pain is avoided at the first signal. Convenience is celebrated as progress. But here is the warning the Greeks would give you. Every layer of comfort removes a layer of competence, and when competence erodes, poverty follows. Not immediately, not dramatically, but quietly. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. What skill have you lost in the last 5 years because convenience replaced it? Do you still cook with patience? Do you still repair what breaks? Do you still endure boredom without distraction? Or has friction been engineered out of your life? Comfort feels harmless, but comfort is erosion disguised as relief. The Greeks understood erosion. They saw what happens when cities become soft. Sparta trained for war in times of peace. Athens grew wealthy through trade, and with wealth came indulgence. When comfort becomes habit, vigilance declines. And when vigilance declines, foundations crack. Financial poverty does not begin with lack of money. It begins with lack of discipline. Discipline is expensive. Comfort is cheap. That is the injustice no one explains. You are sold convenience as liberation, but convenience often becomes dependency. Dependency weakens negotiation. Dependency weakens creativity. Dependency weakens courage. Tell me, if your current conveniences vanished tomorrow, how capable would you be? If delivery services stopped, if technology failed, if income paused, would you adapt quickly or would you panic? The Greeks believed wealth was not coin alone. Wealth was capacity. Capacity to endure, capacity to produce, capacity to think. They pursued arete, not indulgence, and arete demands resistance. Consider the gymnasium. Young men trained their bodies daily, not for vanity, for resilience. Strength was insurance. Now consider financial strength. It too requires resistance, saving when you want to spend, investing when you want to consume, learning when you want to relax. Comfort whispers, you deserve ease. Discipline whispers, you deserve capability. Which voice governs you? The modern world engineers frictionless living, automatic payments, one-click purchases, instant gratification. But friction is where growth occurs. Without friction, muscles weaken. Without friction, judgment dulls. Without friction, hunger for improvement fades. The Greeks would ask, are you becoming softer each year or sharper? Here is another question. When was the last time you chose difficulty on purpose? Not because you had to, but because you understood that resistance builds strength. Did you wake up early to work on a skill? Did you delay a purchase to build savings? Did you confront a weakness instead of masking it? Or has friction been engineered out of your life? Comfort expands quietly. First, it is convenience. Then it becomes expectation. Then it becomes entitlement. Then it becomes debt. Financial poverty is often the child of entitlement. I deserve this. I deserve that. I work hard. I should enjoy now. The Greeks enjoyed life, but enjoyment followed discipline, not before. They understood that pleasure without structure leads to decay. Erosion is silent. You do not notice it daily. You notice it when collapse arrives. Let me ask you directly, are your expenses increasing faster than your skills? Are your comforts expanding faster than your income? Are you investing more in appearance than in capacity? These are not accusations, they are reflections. The more convenient life becomes, the less you are forced to think strategically. When survival is guaranteed, foresight declines. Ancient merchants trained for scarcity even during abundance. They stored grain, they diversified routes, they prepared for winter in summer. Comfort is seasonal. Winter always returns. But modern culture behaves as if summer is permanent. Tell me, if a recession arrived next month, are you positioned for it, or are you structured for perpetual ease? Comfort numbs urgency. Urgency builds momentum. The Greeks lived close to uncertainty, so they cultivated internal strength. Now uncertainty is hidden. Systems protect you. Institutions cushion you. Credit extends you. But credit is not wealth. Credit is borrowed time. Borrowed time can feel like abundance until repayment demands discipline you never built. Let me ask you something sharper. Do you know how much you truly need to live? Not your lifestyle, not your indulgences, but your essentials. Could you reduce quickly if required, or are you locked into comforts that own you? Ownership is subtle. You believe you own the car, but the payment owns your choices. You believe you own the house, but the mortgage owns your risk tolerance. You believe you own your lifestyle, but your lifestyle dictates your freedom. The Greeks valued autonomy. Autonomy required restraint. Restraint required discomfort. Comfort expands obligations. Obligations shrink options. And when options shrink, poverty approaches, even if income remains high. Financial fragility is often hidden behind luxury. Let me ask you, are you wealthy in capability or merely affluent in consumption? Can you produce value without external validation? Can you survive without applause? Or does your identity depend on maintaining an image? Comfort feeds image. Discipline feeds substance. Substance compounds. Image depreciates. The Parthenon stands ruined, yet dignified. Many modern empires vanish without a trace because marble was placed with calculation. Your financial life requires the same architecture. Comfort weakens architecture because it resists inspection. You do not audit what feels good. You audit what feels unstable. So if your life feels comfortable, you stop examining it. Erosion accelerates. Let me ask you plainly, when was the last time you audited your finances with severity? Not casually, not optimistically, severely. Where is waste? Where is dependency? Where is vulnerability? Ancient Greeks trained in cold water. They ate simple meals voluntarily. They practiced scarcity to remove its terror. Modern people avoid scarcity at all cost, so when it arrives, panic dominates. If you occasionally practice living below your means, poverty loses its fear. If you occasionally practice solitude, rejection loses its sting. If you occasionally practice discipline, temptation loses control. Comfort makes you poor because it dulls your edge, and edge is required in markets. Markets reward the disciplined. Markets punish the indulgent. Competition is relentless. Comfort is expensive. Let me ask you, are you investing more in your comfort than in your competence? How many hours do you consume entertainment weekly? How many hours do you cultivate skill? Which number is larger? The Greeks would say, time is your most valuable asset, and comfort consumes time effortlessly.
Scrolling, streaming, escaping. Each minute feels harmless, but minutes compound. Years later, you look up and realize your skills stagnated while others advanced, not because they were smarter, but because they tolerated friction longer. The injustice is subtle. You are encouraged to relax, encouraged to indulge, encouraged to treat yourself, but rarely encouraged to strengthen yourself. Strength is not glamorous. It is repetitive. It is inconvenient. It is uncelebrated, but it builds legacy. Let me ask you again, if your child imitated your daily habits, would you be proud of their trajectory or concerned? Because comfort is contagious, so is discipline. Your household absorbs your tolerance for difficulty. If you avoid discomfort, they will